I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was in a weird place at halftime against Air Force. In fact, I think I tweeted something out to the effect of like, this is going to be an interesting 30 minutes, impactful 30 minutes. Because I was like, are they going to lose this game? Like, if they lost that game, it's all ifs, ands, and buts now. But if they lost that game, are you making a coaching change right there? I was asking myself that question at halftime. It was 6-3. The Bears needed to force a weird turnover with like 15 seconds left in order to get a field goal to take the lead at halftime against Air Force. And the vibes were not high. But I do remember having this feeling of they were moving the ball. Maybe the floodgates are just going to open in the second half. It's not like it was a completely stagnant offense. They were moving the ball. In fact, I think they're only 3 and out of the first half was after the blocked punt and the game opening field goal. So they were already in field goal range. But I don't believe Palmer Williams punted all night long. They couldn't hold on to the ball in the first half. But I'm like, this is going to come. The floodgates are going to break here, I think. And they did. And they rattled off, 28 unanswered from the last play of the first half through the second half to win it 31-3. So what happened? What happened in that time frame? Well, something I didn't catch because I was at the game, but was on the TV broadcast, and it was tweeted out by Brian Horn. I did not see this live, but man, look at what Dave Aranda was getting into on that Baylor sideline.
Mike, you saw him grab that. You got a show to do in a couple minutes, man. How about Dave Aranda firing up his team on the sideline?
And when you ever coach,
more of this, Dave. More of this. I think this is right after the Michael Trigg fumble, before the half, and look at him. He's laying into them. He is laying into them, and I loved every second of that. For those of you watching on YouTube, you got to see that. He is laying into those guys, like showing real emotion. And the Bears scored 28 unanswered points after that. That is not a coincidence. And then after the game, my pal Ben Peck of Channel 6 asks Dave, what did you tell the guys at halftime? And this is the answer we got from Dave Aranda.
Just the focus on what's next. I mean, we were getting the ball to start that half, and then we're going to go score. And then defensively, we're going to go out in the field. We're going to go 3 and out. We're going to get the ball back to the offense, and we're going to score again. And we're going to do it again and again and again.
My goodness. Did you guys see that? Hear that? The look on his face, the gruff voice. We're going to do it again and again and again. Like the camera should have been zooming in on the whites of his eyes. When did Dave Aranda become Dirty Harry? When did he become Clint Eastwood? Well, are we all hearing this? I've talked about this. There is a deadpan in Dave Aranda now that I'm into. I guess a more gritty deadpan, because he's always been deadpan, right? But this is like grit. He's not smiling. He's not cracking a joke. And from all the stories we hear about Dave Aranda, psychopath, football guy, that makes sense. I could see him saying that to his locker room, just from what we've heard. We haven't seen a lot other than that video of him kind of laying into his guys. But I love the Clint Eastwoodness of all that. We're going to get the ball and we're going to score again and again and again. And I think that is indicative of the fact of what I just brought up, of they were moving the ball. It wasn't a brain dead performance offensively. I thought there was one bad play call in the first half, and that was 4th and 1 and giving it to Richard Reese instead of someone like Bryson Washington or even Dawson Pendergrass. This is the next drive after the Pendergrass fumble, so that might have been a punishment thing. But Richard Reese is not your 1 yard back. He's just not. But I think that goes to show that the coaching staff was believing the same thing. Hey, guys, we're doing the right things here, because they were. They could have got off the field a little bit better in the first half defensively, but for the most part, they were doing the right things except for holding on to the ball. They weren't doing that. But we're gonna run it down their throat. We're gonna score, and we're gonna stop them, and then we're gonna score again, and again. Clint Eastwood or Dave Aranda? I don't know. There's also two things that I want to point out before we get out of here. Two things I thought that changed Baylor's fortunes in that second half. And the first one came in the third quarter, I believe. A monumental moment in the history of Baylor athletics, especially for those who were at Baylor around my time. I was there from 15 to 19, so I'm going to extend it to like 21 or 22 because they played Mo Bamba. It was the first time in over 5 years, probably 6 years for a football game, but first time in over 5 years, they played that song at a Baylor athletics event. For those of you who are around, you know why. Pi-Fi, come on. Insensitive video by Pi-Fi singing the lyrics to Mo Bamba a little bit too accurately. And that became a viral video. Not a good look for Baylor and the Greek life at Baylor. And it becomes banned. That was Baylor's reaction to it. We're banning it from sporting events. They might not tell you that, but it wasn't played at all. And it was played all the time on campus and at games. Any one of those of you who were in college in 2018, 2019, you'll know that was everywhere. And most people listening to it at Baylor couldn't even tell you that the guy who the song's named after played basketball at UT and is 0-1 at the Farrell Center. Just saying. But that was a monumental moment. I texted one of my big college buddies and said, like, oh my God, I think that's the first time they've played it. It was just this random second or third quarter timeout in the action, and they start playing it. And as my message was sending, his came back and he said, oh my God, yes, that's the first time. Monumental cultural moment for Baylor athletics. And it had to be at least 28-0 after that. The other one would be the rally cat, this cat on the field, cat delay in the fourth quarter that was on the field, then gets up like under the cement wall for the stands, goes underneath that, then up in the stairs and pops right up to the concourse. They tried to catch this cat. They could not do it. That could be the cat that turns this thing around. The Mo Bamba cat. Can we call it that? The Mo Bamba cat? Oh, what a moment. For all my homies out there that were at Baylor in 2018, 2019. The perfect time because they also had a center on the basketball team whose name sounded a lot like Mo Bamba, and we couldn't use it after that. Couldn't use it because of that infamous video. But Mo Bamba is back at Baylor athletics events. It did feel like a throwback. Like 2018 was obviously not the greatest year in Baylor football history, but they went to a bowl game. They turned it around from a bad season the year before, which sounds like the situation we're in right now. They turned it from 1-11 to 7-6. And that was the last time they wore black uniforms before they wore the anthracite on Saturday. And it was the last time you heard Mo Bamba at a football game. The last time would have been that game, which was the last home game of the year against TCU, a game they lost, of course. But they went on to beat Tech and then beat Vanderbilt in the Texas Bowl, which the vibes were just really good, really high, and that turned into a really good 2019 season. So it felt like 2018, and I'll take 7-6 and a Texas Bowl victory. I think that would be a good spot for the Baylor Bears this year. Let me know what you think. What was the turning point in this game? And of course, let me know what you think about starting quarterback. Drop that down in the comment section below. Is Sawyer Robertson the guy for the rest of the year for the Baylor Bears? And what were you most impressed by the Bears in this victory? And how are you feeling about Colorado this week? Drop all of that in the comment section. Be sure to like and subscribe. Ring that notification bell to get notified every time we drop a video, not only on YouTube, but wherever you get your podcast. Thank you so much for making it your first listen today and every day. We'll see you tomorrow on Locked On Baylor. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. We really appreciate that. And if you want to keep up to date on all the Baylor sports news, be sure to give us a like and ring the notification bell because we are your first listen today and every day. We are your exclusive home for nothing but Baylor sports content 5 days a week that's not coming straight from the university. Be sure to follow us here on YouTube and also wherever you get your podcasts and on Twitter as well at Locked On Baylor. Thanks so much again. Have a good one. And sick 'em.